Your story might be the very thing someone needs to hear in order to keep going. Hi, I'm Shara, and you're listening to Life Stories. Good morning, friends. Hope you're having a great start to your day. I am doing this podcast in between making spaghetti sauce and another probably 20 jars of pickles. My husband and I make a great team in that he loves to garden. We have beautifully landscaped flower beds because he loves to plant flowers and they're gorgeous. I've got roses everywhere and azaleas and trees, and he loves it and I don't like it. I love to look at it and I'll water it if I have to, but I don't like to plant. I have no desire to do it. Our house would be very boring if he, on the outside, if he didn't like to do that. And then he loves to garden. Every year our garden has gotten bigger and bigger, and he loves it. Last week or week before last, we shucked 200 ears of corn. We did corn for the first time this year. We've done new potatoes, which have been wonderful. Lots of beans, tons of zucchini and squash, and we've given away so much because there's no way we could eat it all. And we don't have enough freezer room to freeze it all. I've got salsa, lots of salsa on my counter. I've got tons of pickles, and I'm about to make probably another 20 jars. So I've got a lot to do today. Plus, I ordered a laptop and it's coming in today, and I want to get all this done before it comes in because I'm going to want to play with it when it gets here. So anyway, this week is a special week for us, but this week, Aaron and I celebrate 31 years of marriage, and you don't stay married for 31 years by accident. I could go on for hours and tell you all the wonderful things about him and why I love him so much. As I've been thinking about our anniversary, I was thinking about something that happened this weekend that it's one of the many things that I love about him. You know, he is very handsome, and I love taking care of him. I love helping him make his life easier and not more difficult. I love cooking for him because he is the easiest person in the world to cook for. There's nothing he doesn't like. Everything is delicious. So he's very easy to cook for. He's not picky at all. He'll eat leftovers, so I don't ever waste any food, which is wonderful. He'll eat leftovers for lunch the next day. He makes me laugh every day, and he's the only person in the world that can make me laugh until I can't breathe. I mean, I can't tell you how many times he'll make me laugh and we'll start giggling, and then I will be in tears because I can't stop laughing. It's happened a lot. Enough to stand out, which is one of my favorite things. Another one of my favorite things is that he has always been my rescuer. You know, we got married at 17 and 18, and I don't know about you. I don't know how old you were when you got married, but even if you were 30, I'm guessing you probably didn't have marriage all figured out at that age. We've been married for 31 years, and I'm still learning things about marriage. So at 17 and 18, we really didn't know about marriage. And besides getting married as teenagers right out of high school with a baby, we had a lot of growing up to do, and I had a lot of getting healthy to do. I just had a lot of things I needed to deal with, and it's taken most of our marriage to do it. But this weekend, we had something happen. Our grandkids came and stayed with us, which is wonderful. And we recently got 2 kittens. My grandkids named them Lainey and Wilson because they love Lainey Wilson. We have a girl and a boy. And Lainey, both of them have learned recently to start climbing up trees. And it's good. I want them to learn how to do that. But the trees they've been climbing are very small, and so it's easy for them to get down. Well, Lainey decided to start climbing a tree, and I don't know if she realized what she was doing. She just kept climbing and climbing and climbing and climbing, and I don't think she realized what she had done until she got to the very top and realized she couldn't get down. And if my father-in-law had not had a really tall ladder, we would have had to call the fire department because a regular ladder wasn't going to cut it. It was scary. Number one, I didn't want her to fall and die in front of my grandkids because they're watching the whole time. And then Aaron, trying to get the ladder set up on the tree, the ladder was really, really heavy. And I mean, I was afraid it was going to fall on him. And then, you know, as high as he climbed, I said, do you want me to climb up there? And he said, there is no way I'm letting you climb up here. It was really, really high. I didn't want to climb up there, but I was trying to be nice and offer. And so we did get Lainey down. It took a while, and it was getting dark, and it was a little scary. But we did get her down, and I'm thankful she's okay. She's totally fine. She's climbing trees again, just not that tree. But I was thinking about how many times in my marriage I have started going in a direction that I thought I could handle and just kept climbing and climbing and climbing until I got to a position where there's no way I could get out of it by myself. And I wish I could say it's only happened once, but it hasn't. It's happened multiple times. You know, when you're married, you're a team. You need each other. And for a long time, I thought I could just do things on my own. And it doesn't work like that. It doesn't work well like that. I love that we're a good team. I love that we work together well, that we balance each other out. We're very different. And it took a long time for us to understand each other's differences and not try to change one another. One of my favorite things about my husband is that he has been my rescuer. And he hasn't been my rescuer and gotten me down from the tree and then yelled at me for being stupid, for why in the world did you do this? How in the world did you get to this point? He's loved me through every step. People have often said that Aaron has the patience of Job. And he's not perfect. I'm not going to say he's perfect because he's not, and he knows he's not perfect. But he does have the patience of Job, and he's needed it to be married to me. I will totally admit that. And I'm thankful. I'm thankful that God knew what he was doing when he put us together. And I'm not saying God planned on me getting pregnant at 17, but God knew I needed somebody like Aaron. And I'm so thankful for him. I'm thankful for our marriage. I don't want to go through the hard times again. I mean, I think we've been through plenty. I don't want to have to go through that again. But I'm thankful for everything that we've been through because we've learned along the way how to do it right. I can tell you 1,000 ways how to do it wrong. And I'm thankful for who we are now because we wouldn't be where we are now had we not gone through some of the things that we've been through. So I'm thankful that he's my rescuer. I'm thankful that he loves me enough to rescue me, that he knows me better than I know myself. He has believed in me more than I have believed in myself. He encourages me and he points out my good qualities. He doesn't point out my bad qualities. And the other day there's an Instagram account I follow called Grown and Flown. And I love it because it's parents of kids who are in college or have moved out of the house. And they talk about, what it's like having their grown kids gone or when they come home to visit or, I just can relate to a lot of it. And so I like following that account. And the other day this woman posted something. She reposted something she had posted 4 years before. And she said 4 years ago, I guess, her daughter told her she was pregnant her senior year of high school. And, they didn't know what was going to happen and how her life would turn out. And so here 4 years later, they just celebrated her wedding, her daughter's wedding to her boyfriend. And they have a 4-year-old boy. And she graduated with honors from college and just talking about how proud she was of her and what all she had done. And I commented on it, and I'm getting a lot of responses to my comment because I said, congratulations. This year, my husband and I will celebrate 31 years of marriage, and I also had my daughter our senior year of high school. I said, it's not easy, but it's also not impossible. And it isn't easy. Marriage at any age isn't easy. You are two different people coming with two different sets of desires and personalities and thought processes and ways you respond to circumstances, and you're all different. If you're both the same, that's probably not good. That's probably harder to be the same than it is different. I don't know. Aaron and I are completely different. Completely different. We work together well, but we are total opposites. And that's okay. We've learned to work together well. And the reason we're still married is because God has had enough grace on our lives. And we've chosen to pray. We've chosen to pray together. We've chosen to pray for one another. And we've chosen to do what God wants us to do, and to fight hard, to fight for one another instead of against one another. And we've chosen to both get healthy. We've chosen to both work hard on ourselves so that we can be the best for the other person. And I believe that marriage is 100-100, not 50-50. I don't give half and he gives half. No, I have to give all of myself to my marriage and my husband. And he does the same for me. But you know what? It works that way. When you're putting God first, when you're putting the other person first, when you're wanting to help them and love them and listen to them and not just try to fix everything that they're doing because you don't like it, it works. And so on that account, I said it's not easy, but it's also not impossible. And that's the absolute truth. And that's what people have been responding to is that's true. It's not easy, but it's also not impossible. So I hope that you can look at your spouse today and see their differences and celebrate them instead of being angry and resentful about them. And I hope that you're choosing to get as healthy as you can for you so that you can be the best you can for your spouse. I hope that you are seeking God. If you have a problem, if you have an issue with your spouse, and the best thing to do first is to pray and to pray for them. And you'll find, because I've found this, and I know Aaron has found this too, if you begin praying for your spouse, and they may frustrate you in this one area, and you want it fixed and you want it changed and you don't like it, when you start praying for them, God's going to work on your heart. And yes, he may take care of that other issue, but more importantly, he's going to take care of you. And it's always better. I hope that you will celebrate that person that God put in your life. I hope that I've encouraged you this morning. Have a great day. Thanks for listening.